Nino Gonzalez, and welcome to another episode of Making Sense. Well, it's the holidays, and we're trying to remain festive and making the show a little bit on the lighter side. As you can see, I'm wearing some Santa hat and a Christmas necklace, and trying to avoid the stress that occurs during the holidays. And here to discuss how we handle stress in our lives is Claudia Garcia. And Claudia, welcome back.
Thank you.
A recent El Paso Community College graduate, and hopefully will be pursuing her career in her field of study soon. So thank you for taking time to be on the show again. And so let's talk about stress during the holidays. I know you work in retail right now,
Yes.
and I think working in retail during the holiday season must be very stressful.
Well, actually, yes. People is looking for not only for gifts, is what they gonna prepare for dinner. So it's
Right.
a lot of people looking for things for the kids, for the husbands,
Right.
for
And,
the friends.
and how did you survive Black Friday?
Well, I think for our store was nice. We don't suffer like on other years.
Okay.
This year, so we have a lot of sales online.
Oh, wow.
That's make a big difference.
So you are seeing that change of going from people coming in to ordering online, and what, they come and pick it up at the store?
Yes, they
Oh,
do.
wow. And how's that working out for Walmart and for your store?
Well, I think for our store it affected because it wouldn't have the same crowded even like that last year.
Right.
A lot of people decided to look it up online because we start with events so early, so they can order the whole day. They can wait the products be available online since 8 in the morning. Some people say that even at noon, the day before that we started
Right.
the whole event, they
They
were
were
available.
available. Wow. Okay.
So
Well, of course, trying to compete with Amazon, and I know Amazon has taken a lot of those physical sales away, and you got to adjust. You got to adjust that business model
yeah.
in order to compete with them.
Yeah, then actually our store has a lot competing with online. If you go to the store and find something that is on sale online, we can price match only with them.
Oh, wow.
But sometimes you can save like $10. I saw a product that was in the store was like a $50, and if you see online at Walmart.com, you can see it for 26.
Wow.
So a lot of people like that because it's easier for us, and
Sure.
we don't make a lot of investing a lot of time to look it up for is the
Right.
price is the correct price or is the correct item. So we see the item and it's the same online. You can buy it for.
Well, that's one of the ways I try and reduce stress is for the past, I think, 3 or 4 years, I've been doing all my shopping online. I've been one of those who's avoid going to the stores because, first of all, you have to get there. Sometimes the traffic, and sometimes with the construction and the orange barrels all over town,
Yeah, that's
sometimes hard to get to. And then you get there, and then the item isn't there.
Yes.
And then also, even before you walk into the store, having to deal with the parking issues and fighting, and sometimes for a parking spot, or people sometimes get rude, and
Yes.
and it just builds up the stress in you.
Yeah, that's true. It was I heard a lot of comments about that. We actually right now in my store we don't have a lot of people doing lines, making lines,
Right.
but in the floor it's the stress where the people feel the stress. Like they're pushing, then bumping, and they
Right.
say, "Oh my goodness, that lady was so rude because the aisle was so crowded
Right.
because everybody wants to get the same thing." So it's what we heard. The people that are running the floor is when they feel the stress, the crowd. But when they go to the register, the checkouts, and they don't see lines, so they feel, "Oh well, at least."
At least so you're accommodating, Walmart is accommodating that by, I guess, opening more lines during
Yeah.
the busy holiday season.
Actually, we started a program last year that we start with all the register open since 10 a.m. to almost 8
Oh,
or
that's
9.
great. That alleviates a lot of
yes.
stress.
Yes, that's helped a lot. We try to keep everybody calling the customers, guide them to the
Right.
register that they has less people. But even when the people come in to look it up for something that is not there, we can tell them, oh, you can go to Walmart.com And if you don't find it here in the store, it's gonna tell you where it is,
Right.
in which store.
You know, this I think it was this past weekend. My son played at one of the with his high school at one of the local malls, and just trying to find parking was a headache. And we took our parents, and we were trying to find for handicap parking, and it's like
It's busy.
I guess everybody is now in handicap status in El Paso because they're a few and far in between to find.
Yes.
And then sometimes people abuse,
Yes, that's true. That's
abuse
sad.
the placard, and they don't even need it. So
The shed. Yeah, it's the space. Is what I will look it up. Is that when people coming with a lot of stress
Right.
for the season, they just get mad and they
Right.
well, I'm looking for this one and I just didn't find it, or where it's supposed to be there, or the prices is not the same and I saw the other price. But I'm like a cashier. We try to if you don't find it, let me call someone to help you.
Right.
We try to do the best we can.
And you know, nowadays, even like in stores, when you're with your shopping cart, it's like now you need turn signals because you don't know who has the right of way. You bump into people and stuff like that.
True.
Or even if you're not in a cart, but what are people doing? They're on their phone. They're
Oh,
walking,
that's true.
and they're not looking where they're going, and you bump into them, and or they bump into you without realizing, and they think it's your fault, and they're the ones that are looking on their phone,
Yeah, that's true.
and trying to do whatever.
Yeah, well, actually, the phone and the store is a lot of distracted because right now that we don't price match, everybody's looking up. Where can I find this one?
Right.
This store is cheaper, so.
And that's one of the things that they say when you're at holiday gatherings with your family and with your friends, or even when you're having dinner, is put the phones away, you know. And there's so many people that are there gathered, and they're sitting in chairs and in the sofa or around the dining room table, and what do you see them doing? They're on their phone.
Yeah,
you know?
you don't
and,
enjoy.
and sometimes this creates a lot more stress, especially in women.
Yes.
In women with trying to look up on likes, what other people like, or updates or whatever. I don't know what they do, or but sometimes that creates a lot of stress.
Yeah. Well, I used to use a lot of Facebook. Right now,
Okay.
I changed my preference to the Pinterest.
Okay, all right.
and I find a lot of decoration. I'm sorry, a lot of
That's okay.
decoration, a lot of details that you can find there. Well, I love it. I really love
Right.
it because it's a lot of things. And
But did Facebook create some stress for you, or?
Oh, yes, because a lot
Why?
of people is thinking, we want to this gift, or I see this one. I hope so. Somebody gave me this one.
Right.
So,
And then people talk about everything, right?
Yes.
They post everything that they do almost like every 5 minutes
I
or
know.
so. but some tips for our audience is, do you know your spending limit during the holidays?
Oh, that's very important.
Right.
That's very important because when you go to the store, we don't have a spend limit, a budget.
Right.
We can spend a lot.
Yeah, I was reading in the Wall Street Journal that most American households are going to spend about $600 to $1,000 in gifts, depending on the size of the family. But
Yes.
each of us has different budgets, and sometimes what the kids want, or it might not be in that budget. How do you handle that stress?
Well, actually, I try to look it up only for the people that's very important for
Right.
me.
Okay.
My family, when we gather all together in Christmas, we say, okay, only the kids gonna receive gift.
All right.
Only those. And we're going to spend only this amount, no more than that. Please don't spend in 100 gift when you're gonna receive only 25. So no,
Right.
just $25 and that's it. Just my mom, my dad, and my brothers and I, we don't get any
You don't
gifts.
exchange gifts,
We don't.
right?
We don't.
Yeah. And it's like also like with my parents and my mother-in-law is they're older, and my parents are 91, my mother-in-law is 92, and fortunately in good health, very active. But what do they need at this point? It's like my brother tries and sends my parents some gifts, but they stay there and they don't even use them. I would rather do something for them, like maybe, hey, I'll trim the trees for you, you know, when they need pruning, or I know they need a new kitchen faucet, so maybe I'll buy the faucet and change it for them. You know, something that is more meaningful like that, and just
Yes.
something that is not going to be stored away and they won't use.
And I think at that age, that what they need is with our time.
Yes.
Our time is spent with them.
Right.
And my mom and my dad, they are like around 60, but they really enjoy that we gather together.
Right.
So that we spend time with them, that we call them, then they prefer that
Than
receive a
anything
gift.
else.
Yes,
That's exactly right.
because they say that's gonna stay there, but the time you spend with me is
It's priceless.
is priceless.
Right. And how about family gatherings? How does that create stress for you?
Oh yes, because oh my goodness, we have to get what we wanna cook for that day.
Right.
At what time we wanna get to there in
And
the
then setting up the table.
then setting
and
up the
everything.
table.
But how about with relatives you don't get along?
Well, actually,
Or you all get you don't have that problem.
no, we don't. We are a very small family, so we don't have that problem.
All right,
And
but in some families that becomes an issue. You know, even with brothers and sisters that they might not get along, or you know that they make comments, sarcastic comments.
yes.
You know, and you know what will make you upset and stuff like that, and that
well,
also creates some
there's
stress.
some stress.
Right.
Yes, but we try to don't take very personal.
Right.
So, okay, that was stay there, the way they command, so that's
Well,
okay.
and I think it's important, you know, that in order to alleviate that stress, to share the tasks, especially if they're going to have it. Let's say they have the gathering at your home. Well, you know, then somebody do something there or bring something,
Yes.
so that way it alleviates the stress from you and your family.
Well, I think that for us living here in the borders, to cross that bridge is the most stressful
Right.
thing for that day.
Yeah, I've seen those lines, and it's like, you know, people that are commuting back and forth from Juarez to over here. That
Wow. Well, the last year I think we spent like almost 2 hours just crossing.
right.
So, oh my goodness. So
And I guess you better have a good car and
Yes.
a tank full of gas, right?
yes,
And patience.
And patient. The last year we decided to stay there in Juarez because the line cross back. Oh my goodness, I don't know, it's worse than that go than come back.
Right.
Was like 3 hours, 3 hours in the middle of the night. So that's cool with the kids. So no, we prefer to stay there.
Right.
But I think for a lot of people that have families,
But
in that
some
place-
people do it every day.
yes,
And
but
you know, I've seen those line bridges, especially at the Free Bridge, and with the trucks and everything, and it's chaos.
yeah,
It
but
is
I
chaos.
think that night I think it's make it a little more stressful because you know that everybody's waiting for you in the other side. They calling you, hey, where are you? You almost crossing, or at what time you gonna come?
Well, even here in El Paso, trying to get from the east side maybe to the west side can be stressful with all the
With the
construction that's
Oh
going on.
yes.
Well, we'll come back and talk about some other stress triggers and maybe tips on how to alleviate some of that stress in the second half of Making Sense. So stay tuned. Welcome to the second half of Making Sense, and we're trying to make sense out of stress, and hopefully it won't ruin our holiday season.
know.
And I said, let's be a little bit festive, let's put some decorations here. I think, these things, just laughing, being funny, and being silly alleviate some of the stress.
Yes.
And learn how to have fun and relax and laugh. Correct?
And I think don't forget that the purpose of the celebration.
Right. And a lot of us have. We've forgotten about, regardless of your denomination or your religious background, but we've forgotten what the real meaning of it is, and it's turned more into commercialism and,
Yes, that's true.
Decorations, and some people way over decorate, and that would
Oh,
create
yes.
so much stress.
That's right. Well, this year we only set up the tree and we put a little that new kind of lights that you don't have to put over the
Sure.
house. So that makes me little less stressful.
Good,
Yes.
good. And one of the things is let's be realistic, especially with family gatherings and with gift giving, and what is it that we can afford? What is it that will be meaningful, and not trying to impress.
Yes.
Sometimes we're trying to impress and be something that we're not.
That's true, and I think that's the bad thing of the Christmas, that we try to impress the other people, that
Sure. That we can do it.
Okay, we can do it.
And that we can handle everything.
Yes.
Right.
So I think well, when you say, okay, but we're gonna spend certain amount of money and everybody's agree, that's make it like we feel like equal. We don't have to show out
Yeah,
that
that is
I work
a good
more and
idea.
I receive better.
And one of the things I talked about on my last show that also talked about budgeting for the holidays is, well, if it's a big gift item that maybe your child needs or wants, like let's say a game console, maybe share it. Have one family member put $25, another one maybe another 25, and give one big gift to that child.
Well, we decided this
Or
year.
to the group of kids.
We decided that this year my son wants the electronic gift,
Right.
and he said, "Okay, so I have 50. I think he has $100."
Okay.
And everybody asking, "What do you want for Christmas?" I want this one, this special gift. And he said, everybody was, "Oh, that's
Too much,
expensive."
right?
So everybody said, "Okay,
Pitching it.
we are gonna pitch in it, and you do whatever you want, and your mom and your dad put the other part."
Right.
Well, that's a good idea for us. So I think it's a purpose to share.
Sure.
and
And that's even an idea that my son came up with, because he plays the cello and he's with the youth symphony, and he travels a lot here in town with the cello, and he just has a regular case, and he wanted a better case for it with wheels, and I was talking to somebody that these cases have now, some of them have become status symbols, like they're like vehicles for your instrument.
Yes.
And some of them can run like $400 to $1,200 to $2,000, and it's like you're going from a Ford to a Beamer of a cello case.
Oh my.
So but he chose one that's not too bad. That's not. And I said, okay, well, we'll pitch in this much. Let's see how much Grandma will pitch in, and the other grandparents will pitch in, and that's that's what I want. I want that cello case to protect it a little bit better, and makes it easier to move, when I have my concerts.
That's true, and I think they're gonna appreciate that
Right.
gift more, because sometimes we just gave them a toy that just they want it for a couple of months, and after that it's gonna be there, and nobody uses it.
And how about, at family gatherings or things like that? Sometimes I think what creates a lot of stress is trying to live up to traditions, just because, hey, Grandma and Grandpa did it this way, or we've been doing this for over 10 or 12 years, we should continue doing it. And sometimes it's a break to take a
Yes.
break from tradition,
Yes.
and it doesn't create that stress.
Yes, especially when my mom wants to do this, because we always have been do that, and nobody wants to do that.
Right.
Like
Or like especially making tamales.
making tamales. Oh my God.
I heard, well, we always get together and we make tamales, and we're going to continue doing that. It's like,
It's what
why create that stress on you? And then sometimes they make so much, and they're giving them away, and all of this.
Well, it's what we finished with that tradition like 2 years ago.
Good. Are you happy? Are you happy you
Yeah.
finished with that
My
tradition?
mom, especially my mom, the last week she told me we are gonna make tamales, and I said, no, we don't want tamales. What about your brother? Okay, if you wanna do for my brother, his wife has to come to help you, because I don't wanna help you. Why not? If you're gonna make buñuelos, I'm gonna help you, but those buñuelos gonna be for me. So.
And other things to cut out stress is take deep breaths, take walks. Especially right now, the weather's so nice. It's
Yes.
not that cold, and the cold air helps you. Even lose a little bit more calories, because your body is trying to keep warm, and take a nice little walk and try and de-stress. Maybe do some stretching, shoulder shrugs, and one of the things that I also have found out that alleviates stress is a little bit of acupuncture, like
Oh, that's
between your index finger and your thumb, and apply some pressure there, and just close your eyes. And especially if you have a headache that's coming on, or you feel a headache already there, try doing that and just relax.
and it works. I use that one too when I feel like, oh my goodness, I have a headache, but it's, I don't know, like for stress.
And just zone out,
Yes.
put on some music, and put on music that's gonna relax you, not music
That's gonna make
that's
you
gonna
more
make you
active.
mad, or
Yes.
you don't want to put those Metallica tunes when you're trying to relax.
But I think I agree with you with the do some exercise, because
Right.
for us, like women, we saw water, we get weight. So we wear
Oh,
everywhere.
and not only that, what are you gonna wear?
Especially. Oh,
Right.
I have a dress. I don't have a new dress for this night.
Right. I wore it last Christmas, or it doesn't fit me anymore, or whatever.
Yes.
I don't know.
Also, but the tamales are so delicious, so we can stop to eat. So that's gonna help us a lot to go walk, and especially what you say with this climate that is very nice.
And it's nice, and just take a brisk walk, and enjoy nature. And right now in El Paso, even though we're in December, the trees are barely turning, and
Yes.
some of those trees really look nice.
Mhm.
And even take some pictures, and enjoy a little bit of nature, depending on where you
Yes,
live.
and bring with us our kids. That's gonna help us to talk with them
Right. Yeah.
and know what they want to for Christmas, and to talk to them if we afford it or not. So I think when they know and what they receive what they expect, they feel good. But
Right.
when they receive something they don't like it or they don't expect, they don't even enjoy it. Just put the gift outside and say, I don't like
Right.
it.
And another thing is to stay organized and don't overplan. For example, like right now, I'm going into winter break, and I want to do everything. I want to do this at the house. I want to go here. I want to visit this place. I want to visit these friends, and you can't do everything,
No.
and
And
that creates
a
stress
lot of
within
stress,
yourself,
a lot of stress.
because you want to achieve all these things that you want to do, and just be realistic with what is it that you want to do. And if you don't get it done, you don't get it done.
That's true. I learned something the last semester I was in the community, that about my writer journal. So I just write down what I think I can do that.
Oh, wow.
But
And that really helps a lot.
and that works for me to write in one side what I want to do, but in the other side write what really done. So if I have to do laundry, so if I have the chance, just scratch it
Sure.
out and write it in the other side. But don't be so stressful. I didn't finish. I have
Right.
this long list, and I only
Yeah.
do 2 or 3 things.
Sometimes I wake up in the morning, and I look at the mess in the kitchen, or look at the mess in the living room, and it gets you stressed out, and that's something I've had to deal with, and trying to alleviate that stress and say, hey, it'll get done.
Yes, and it's easier if everybody does a little bit.
Right.
Like pick it up, just do just your dishes, or
Right.
clean just only your dishes. Don't worry about the other things.
And another thing that a lot of people have problem during the holidays is learning how to say no, or even during regular life,
Yes.
especially when they know you like to do these things, or you like to volunteer, or participate in these activities, and you're always the person they ask, and sometimes they get surprised if you say no.
No. Yeah, and sometimes,
Learning how to say
yeah, I
no,
haven't. I have to be volunteer this week for an event on one of my children's school.
Right.
And the lady from that is in charge of that one, she told me, "Are you gonna be for the daily go?" I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Right.
Because it's too much. The time I'm gonna spend there, so I decided to go. No, I can't. Because it's gonna give me a lot of stress
A
to
lot of
be
stress.
here, because I
Sure.
have a lot of things to do.
Right.
Even I don't working or working in the weekends, I have a lot of things to do at home.
Well, you can say no to everybody else except when I ask you to be on the
Okay,
show.
no, I'm here. I'm here.
But another thing that I read, especially during, and probably we don't suffer too much from it here, but in other parts of the country, is lack of sunlight. and
That's true.
we need that sunlight, and especially going out and taking a walk and getting some rays of sun, because a lot of people go into what
Depression.
we call that seasonal affective disorder, which is called SAD, and they go through a depressive state because they're not getting enough sun.
That's true. And that's was I talking with a friend last week
Hmm.
because she doesn't walk. She stayed inside of the building or the
Oh my
house the
goodness.
whole day.
Hmm.
And I told her, hey, you need to walk because it's important for your body
Right,
because you need to produce vitamin D. That is important for your bones.
right.
And she said, well, I know, but I don't need to walk. Well, if you don't walk, don't walk, but at least stay in the sun for 10 or
Sure.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's going to help you.
And you know, another thing talking about that is if you're feeling a little bit down, and it happens a lot during the holidays, people
Yes.
suffering depression, and make sure you get help if you need it, and talk to somebody. You know, there's talk to a close friend, and a lot of us want to keep our feelings because we feel we're going to be judged or we're going to be criticized, but you know, sometimes you have to talk to somebody.
Yes, and sometimes there are in the city they have a place that you can just call crisis
Sure.
centers, and
Right.
they don't need to know you. They only want to hear how you feel.
Right.
But it's very important. I was hearing a statistic in Japan, around 32,000 people suicides
Oh
each
my
year.
goodness. Wow.
So it's a very rich people, very rich country. They have a lot of technology, but a lot of people
Right,
is sick.
and you know, it's happening also here, in our country and in our city, especially with younger people dealing with the pressures from school and with bullying and all of that. So, and a lot of it, cyberbullying with social media.
That's true, and it's sad, but sometimes it's because we don't talk with each other,
Right.
and when we get together, we are in the cell phone.
Sure.
So it's
Yeah,
a consequence.
sometimes we're sitting there in the living room trying to watch a movie, and each of us is on our cell phone. And I said, well, what are we doing? Are we going to be on the cell phone, or are we going to watch the movie?
And that's true, and it's what I tried. Well, at least I try to do that. When I walk with my kids, maybe I washing dishes and they was dancing, or we
Right.
try to sing together. But
And you said something great. Put on some music, dance, sing, and be festive and be happy, and try to reduce that holiday stress. But here's another little tip: is did you know that if you take a spoonful of honey, it'll help you, give you a little bit of energy and improve your immunity. So
That's
you
true.
know, so especially honey right now during this holiday season, mix it with some hot tea, and sit down and listen to some music to distress. Well, I hope this gave you some ideas, and hopefully maybe a little bit of a fun talk here and dealing with holiday stress. And don't get too stressed out. And I wish you all a very wonderful holiday season and a good new year. And we'll see you next time on another episode of Making Sense.